Hello, my friends. Thanks for watching me, or for continuing to watch me, to continuing to listen to my message about passive investing. My name is Joseph Areu. For those of you who are here for the first time, and I'm very glad that you're watching me. And please continue to share the videos and make sure that you subscribe and make sure that your friends subscribe. Now, ladies and gentlemen, in this video, I would like to talk to you about investing without borders, investing beyond borders, investing beyond the borders of your country or wherever you live. Because, you don't always have to be restricted to your country in order to invest passively. A number of you have contacted me, asked me, oh, if I live in Uganda, how can I invest in Kenya? If I live in Uganda, how can I invest in Tanzania or in South Africa, and so on and so forth. So I would like to tell you that yes, you can invest outside the borders of your country, subject to applicable rules, regulations, and laws that apply to investing in the given country in which you want to invest. Unfortunately, different countries have different regulations or rules, and so those may sometimes make it difficult or easy for you to invest. But subject to that, yes, you can invest outside or beyond your country. So, what are some of the ways you can do that? So, one way in the day and age in which we live is basically through online brokers, okay, IT, or if you like, internet or web-based brokers. There are a number of them around, through whom you can invest in securities, in shares all around the world, whether in the United States, in Europe, or wherever. Okay? But the brokers don't always have to be online. So, for instance, if you live in Uganda, like I do, you can invest in Kenya. And one way to do that is to contact a broker in Kenya who then can facilitate your investment in Kenya. Or some of those brokers may actually have partners in your country where you live, and they can work with, you can then invest through that partner broker. So you can invest directly into the securities exchange or stock markets, capital markets of another country in that way, right? Secondly, you can invest in a fund. If you live in a country where there is a fund which invests in assets in another country, that fund could be a unit trust fund, for example, or a mutual fund, or it could even be some other type of fund. Doesn't always have to be unit trusts. And that fund could be based locally in your country, or it could even be based in this other country where you want to invest, right? So all you need to do is to buy units, unit trusts for that matter, as an example, in that fund, and through that you are able to access assets, investment assets, in the other country where that fund is investing. All right. Thirdly, you can, in some countries, again, depending on where you live, there are some exchanges, stock or securities exchanges, which list foreign-based assets, whether directly or through depository receipts. So, for instance, in Uganda, I know that if you went to Altex is one of the the local exchanges, which list some of the foreign-based assets or foreign securities. You should be able to buy shares in companies which are listed on that exchange, right? You will also find exchanges of that nature sometimes listing not only shares, but they could list bonds, bonds issued in other countries which you can benefit from, right? So those are some of the ways through which you can access assets across your borders. You can always get in touch with me and we can talk detail about that. But before I end this video, always remember one thing though. You would want to deal with an entity, whichever entity is facilitating your investment, whether it's a broker or a fund manager or whatever. You want to please make sure that that entity is a regulated entity. So make sure that you check with the relevant regulator in your country. If you are in Tanzania, for example, you want to make sure that the Capital Markets and Securities Authority actually regulates the entity you're dealing with. If you live in Kenya, the Capital Markets Authority is one such entity, or rather such regulator you want to check with. If you live in Uganda, it's the Capital Markets Authority Uganda, right? Now, it also depends on exactly what sort of products or which entity is issuing the product that you're buying. Suppose, for instance, you're buying a product which is issued by a bank, a foreign-based product, maybe a depository receipt, for instance, but it's issued by a bank. Then that bank is regulated by the central bank, okay? And you'd want to check that actually that bank is in good standing with the relevant central bank, right? So, summary, do check and be comfortable that the appropriate authority in your respective country, in South Africa, it would be the Financial Sector Conduct Authority. In Nigeria, it would be the Securities Exchange Commission, and so on and so forth. You want to make sure that that entity is properly regulated. Otherwise, do get in touch anytime and we can talk a lot more detail. For now, thank you very much.